I'd like to talk about how to cut the budget this time. And the last time I gave you some examples of the government giving billions of dollars to Brazil to drill in deep water for oil, and to Colombia to build an oil refinery. I forgot to mention that we're also spending millions of dollars to build mosques in foreign countries. We're helping to provide meeting places for people who want to kill us. Also, we're sending another 105 billion to East Africa because they're starving. That makes a total of over 500 billion this year, 500 million rather. These numbers get so $1 billion seems like small change these days. But now I'd like to go a little further and give some examples of how the government could cut down on their spending. First of all, there's the Indian Affairs Committee, chaired by Senator Carter, Democrat from Hawaii. He's having a meeting of the Indian Affairs Committee in Hawaii. The entire press staff is there. Of course, they went a week ahead of time, since the meeting really doesn't start until Wednesday. So they'll be there for a week for a taxpayer-paid vacation of sun and sand for a whole week. And of course, this is typical of what goes on in Washington. It's not just Democrats, although now they're the chief practitioners of it. But I'm sure that things like this have also happened when the Republicans were in charge. So these are the sort of things that have to be stopped. I mean, there's no reason this meeting of the Indian Affairs Committee couldn't have been held in Washington, or better yet, on the Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota, where the senator and the committee might have found some reasons that the Indians and Alaskan natives have a 70% higher suicide rate than the white population. Also, they have a 550% higher death rate from alcohol abuse, and 190% higher death rate from diabetes. Now, he might have found out something pertinent if he had gone to one of these places rather than Hawaii, where the biggest danger the natives have is a coconut falling on their heads or something. Also, I'd like to say that the Indian Affairs Committee has been in existence since the early 19th century, and it doesn't seem to have improved the Indians' lot at all. So maybe it would be a good idea to just abolish the whole thing and save that money. Now, in order to help them a little more, because it seems as though the people in Washington need an awful lot of help. I'd like to read off some. Now if you go to the government website at USA.gov, if you look around there a little bit, you'll find a list of agencies and departments of the federal government. And I'd like to read you some of them, and you can judge for yourselves which of them are, considering our financial straits at these times. You might want to look into it and see which of these agencies are really necessary and which ones can be gotten rid of to save money. Now, here we go. I should say the last time I looked at this list, the first one on the list was the Administrative Committee of the Federal Register. Since then, 4 more have been added to the list. So, I mean, the government's getting bigger all the time. Okay, here we go. You can judge for yourselves which ones we really need. And I don't know what half of these things, agencies do, so you might want to look that up for yourselves. Here we go. Access Board. Administration for Native Americans. Administrating on Aging. Administrating on Developmental Disabilities. Administrative Committee of the Federal Register. Administrative Conference of the United States. Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts. Advisory Council on Historic Preservation. African Development Foundation. Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality. Agency for International Development. Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry. Agricultural Marketing Service. Agricultural Research Service. Agriculture Department. Air and Radiation Hotline. Air Force. Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau. Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives Bureau. This is a rogue agency which has been responsible for many deaths of innocent Americans. It should be disbanded, and the top administrators of this department should probably be in prison. American Battle Monuments Commission. AmeriCorps Recruiting. Amtrak. Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service. Antitrust Division. Appalachian Regional Commission. Architect of the Capitol. Architectural and Transportation Barriers Compliance Board. Archives. Arctic Research Commission. Armed Forces Retirement Home. Arms Control and International Security. Army. Army Corps of Engineers. Arthritis and Musculoskeletal Interagency Coordinating Committee. Atlantic Fleet Forces Command. That's just the A's. As I said, the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosive Bureau should be disbanded. They're little more than murderers in most cases, and they're also involved in the plot where the Justice Department ordered gun dealers in the Southwest to sell automatic arms to Mexican drug dealers, which resulted in the death of at least 2 Border Patrol agents. So these are the things that we can save a lot of money on. Now, individually, some of these agencies may not have very big budgets, but as Everett Dirksen said once, a billion here, a billion there, the first thing you know, you're talking real money. So write or call your congressmen and senators and tell them to cut out some of these unnecessary agencies. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.